operator was to operate their powered chair. Origin to destination service. Customers are expected to be ready and waiting to the curb. However, we do offer some extra assistance to those customers that need it. So when customers call in to make their reservations, they can let the reservationists know that they need extra assistance if it's from the door to the bus or from the bus to another door. We don't go through thresholds, but operators are able to assist whenever they are able to. Drivers are not allowed to cross the threshold. I just said that. Drivers are not allowed to cross the threshold of any building because they are not able to leave the site of their vehicle. Anything can happen. Somebody can get in that vehicle, pull off with it. So operators are not allowed to leave their vehicles. Paratransit is a shared ride, so other customers will be riding along with you. It's not a taxi cab. A lot of our customers, well, not a lot, but we do have some customers that want that pick me up and drop me off. A lot of times we have other customers that we're picking up within the area that they're in, and they have to be dropped off and, in line. So these are some of the things that's in the ride guide. It's a lot of information in there. If anybody have any questions, any concerns, they can always contact our office to get those concerns answered. Or even after this meeting, if you all have any questions or concerns about anything that's in the ride guide, you all, can comment. Any questions or concerns now? Thank you. Yeah.
Good, thank you. So I just wanted to touch a little bit on the scheduling software that we use. Last year we implemented a new software. It's called IT Curves. So I'm sure most people are aware of that. When we first introduced it, we had a little bit of growing pain, which is expected anytime you switch over your scheduling, dispatching services. And we had to go through that. So during that time, we had representatives come down from the company. They were on site, worked with all the team here to make sure all of our staff got in-depth training on the software. Since then, we've set up a standing weekly meeting with them. So of course, we have constant contact with them. They call us, we call them, send emails. And then every week we meet to discuss any issues we have to resolve any problems there. We've also added custom reports. So most scheduling softwares, dispatching softwares come with built-in reports. And so they have that. And then we've added a lot of custom reports since then to be able to monitor ride times, pickup times, drop-off times, those types of things to better serve our customers and make sure we're following all of our policies and procedures to make sure we provide a good service for everybody. The newest thing we've implemented is we set up a ride time threshold. So what that does is we set it for 60 minutes. So that way nobody will be on the bus more than 60 minutes is the way it is. So if somebody's on the bus longer than that or projected to be longer than that, it sends us an alert to let us know it'll exceed that ride time threshold. So then we can try to find another driver or reroute that trip to make sure people aren't on the bus for an extended period of time. And then as Ms. Tia said, we're always open to feedback. So any comments, concerns everybody has, you can always give us a call, come by here, and we're always available. So the future of paratransit, some of the things that I'm working on with the team here is to increase our manpower to better handle the increased ride volume. So adding additional drivers, making sure they're trained. As well as our back office people, so dispatchers, supervisors, to make sure we have enough staff to be able to handle the service and make sure we're providing an efficient service for everybody. In addition to that, we've implemented a customer service training that we're setting up with everybody. So all of the staff will go through it, the reservationists, the dispatchers, drivers, all of us, okay? So everybody will go through customer service training to make sure we're providing adequate customer service to everybody, and it's a good experience for all of our customers that ride the service. Okay, does anybody have any questions, concerns for me now? Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, thank you. That's good to hear. I appreciate it. I'm glad they're providing a good service for you. All right, well, thank you.
Is there something to be said about supposedly, in June, the service is gonna be down or not available to any of us? There's a rumor about that, okay? Not from anybody who works here.
That will be a decision by Chatham County Mayor as to the
So
future.
it's not a rumor, it's a decision to be made.
Yes, now remember,
What does it depend on, may I ask?
however, remember that currently Chatham Area Transit Authority also receives funding from the FTA. And with that, it means that we must provide certain public transportation services. If we have funding shortfalls, then of course that may mean less frequency. We may not be able to do as much as we intend to
How
do.
about missing the price for the rides? Because I mean, I'm sorry, maybe a lot of people will disagree with me, but $2 or $4 for a round trip, no matter where you go from door to door, is really a service. Okay? Well, I've worked downtown for many years and I use your services also to do the work. And believe me, taking an Uber from downtown at night costs $27.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, or $10 to go there because it's the middle of the day. So maybe something can be adjusted on that in order to preserve the what we have. Because not too many cities have that.
We are working together. Hopefully, we will come up with common ground to continue and to even elevate service delivery to our passengers.
And I think a lot of people do forget when they get the ride sorry, I started with that. Get the ability. But the thing is, it's a share ride.
Yeah.
How many times have I been on the bus? I go on the bus every week and I'm only by myself. And a lot of people complain because they have to wait.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? For $2, you're gonna wait. I mean, I'm not, and I bring my book. Go to the doctor's office, as long as I get there on time and my pickup's gonna be later and I'm done earlier. I call and say, I'm done, maybe somebody can pick me up, maybe not. But, it's question of communication and also getting together and like, okay, fine, for $2, what do you want?
Yeah, yes.
I mean,
We're working very hard so that passengers don't have to remain on the bus for long periods of time. The software is helping us to better manage that.
well, the thing is, a lot of us are older also, and I'll tell you one thing, sometimes we don't have anything else to do. I was on the bus the other day for quite some time, and the driver said, "Where are we?" And she thought I was being facetious, and I said, "No, I don't know where we are." But the thing is, I know I'm on my way home. So, I mean, there is some positive, and there's some snatches, it's hard to get an overview when something happens, and which, from 6 and somebody won't call me back.
Yes.
But it works, Great. So I think actually with a positive attitude, I think,
Yes.
because I think it's a good program. And as long as we all can work together as passengers versus you guys, then
That's what we're here for.
I hear you say $2 a ride and the expectations. That is the price that was placed upon us. And no matter if it's 2 or 20, we do have expectations. So I don't think that you should base it on the fact that it's $2 a ride. This is the price that was placed upon us, and this is the price that we pay.
But the thing is, if the $2 a ride is not available, then what do you do?
Then that's a different story, that's up to them. But we're not gonna sit here and say because it's $2 a ride, that our expectations should be lowered or increased.
No, I'm not saying that it should be low.
Well, that's
It
what
should
you
be understood.
insinuate. That is what you insinuated, and that's why I spoke up.
No, I don't think, I mean, it should not be, but it is understood that for $2 a ride, it's a share ride. So we're gonna go all together on a, on the bus. We're gonna pick up somebody, I mean, today I'm late for the meeting because she had to pick up somebody on the wheelchair and she had to drop them off at, at the dialysis, which is more important than the meeting actually, right, for that person. And, it has to be understood. So if you stay on the bus for a little while for $2, hey, I'm okay with that.
Not if it makes you late for your appointment.
Right.
Oh,
And
well-
why do students ride for free, which CAT did for students, and we have to pay? I kind of want to know the answer to that, okay? Because we are a majority of disability people who are pretty poor, okay? I admit it, I'm kind of poor. And why are we paying $2 for a service that really doesn't take care of us, and yet CAT gives students free rides? I'd like to know that.
And the school board paid for passes for their students, and they issued the passes. So the school board is absorbing the cost. One thing that we are doing, we seek additional funding, particularly for seniors and our passengers with disabilities through the Department of Human Services to obtain funding to offset the cost of services provided for seniors. So as we move forward, we will be looking for as much funding as we can get because we realize even $2 may be a hardship. So we are just looking under every rock in order to be more proficient, to provide better services, and to relieve financial burdens off of all of our customers.
That's another question. Back in November, funding was cut or at least obliterated or looked at for CAT mobility because of financial misinformation. Where does that stand and where are we going moving forward?
Okay, the paratransit funding was not cut. That was the millage rate that's imposed on property owners. But paratransit funding remains at 100% and funded by Chatham County's general.
But that's not what it said. The news reports were the millage, and I understand that, I'm a renter, but the millage, okay, was cutting CAT mobility, okay, or CAT transit, but mobility under that umbrella was going to be cut because there was misinformation and there was a non-reporting, and I'm trying to think of the right word, sorry, I have seizures, as to all of CAT mobility, which included CAT disability. I mean, that was all over the news in November,
It
okay?
was, ma'am, and we have county representation here. But I assure you, CAT mobility funding was not cut. The county has committed to 100% of the operating costs through June 30 of this year. Oftentimes facts are misrepresented. And I thank you for your question so that you can obtain clarity. And anytime you have a question regarding the program, feel free to contact yourself or Dr. Manny or even Chatham County. They will be able to tell you what the funding levels are as it relates to paratransit services. But as of today and through the end of June, it is 100% funded, the operating side. The capital side is funded primarily by the federal government to purchase the vehicles. And we have, of course, a 20% local match. And typically in the past, that came from the penny tax through schools.
Right. So Cat Mobility is not part of that deletion or offset of funds.
At this time, Cat Mobility, the operating cost is 100% funded.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I have concern about scheduling.
Oh.
And I don't know a little bit, you know, address that before I came in, but I've had some concerns that I've been scheduled for a pickup that is run an hour, maybe 45 minutes late, and I've had to cancel. So I won't be charged by my doctor or dentist for not showing up and call my daughter or someone to pick me up to pay. 2 months ago, it's not in my fault, but I was written a letter that after 3, not picking up me, you know, not notifying them 2 hours before that I would not leave the service. I was more or less threatened that I'd be taken off of the paratransit pickup. And each one of those calls were not my fault. And I had a situation also where I was supposed to be picked up to JC Lewis Health Center. The driver came 10 or 15 minutes after I was dropped off for my appointment. The young lady at the information desk at JC Lewis walked out to let them know I was still in the back. Well, nonetheless, point of the story, I canceled. The driver came back about 2 hours later and went into the office and asked the young lady at JC Lewis Health Center to pull my record so they could call my next of kin because I was missing. My next of kin was called in South Carolina, Sumter, South Carolina. My sister just lost her daughter 2 months prior to and was called by JC Lewis Health Center for cat that I was missing. Surely was upsetting to her.
Sure.
You know, case in point. I reported that situation to Miss Barbara. 3 months or 4 months prior to that, a driver came to pick me up home early. And I was dressed, but wasn't expecting 2 hours early to pick me up for 11:30. I walked out on my porch, which is 2 flights down, and asked her what was going on. Are you coming? She yelled at me.
Yeah, that's a big problem of being yelled at.
Now, this morning, I was told last night that I would be picked up at 10:39. Your message always says to be ready 15 minutes before, 15 minutes after. I came out of my door at 10, so I would be downstairs by 10:15, which I stand out on my sidewalk and wait. I was picked up until about 5 minutes to 11 this morning. This happens not so much for a meeting like this, but what if it was one of my doctor's appointments? You see what I'm saying? Plus, when you call to make a reservation, the young people on the line are so abrupt with you. And I let them know, you know, I was raised by old school. Yes, ma'am. No, sir. I understand. I get, okay. And one young lady hung up on me one afternoon. But I must say, I do have, I guess, witnesses in here that we've got some very good drivers that are patient with some of us seniors. I can't get up and walk up on the step like I used to because I have soft tissue damage here. I've had some drivers just sit and wait till I try to pull the door open. Others, women and young men, have gotten out. Now, I want to know whether they're supposed to get out of the driver's seat and come around and help you step up, or they leave it to you to do. That's another concern. So I'll stop with the fact that I'll work along with any system. And I've also voiced this with Chatham County Commissioner, Reverend and staff, that I work, and also Mr. Leggett, Dietrich Leggett, that it's not so much what you say, but how you say it to people too. And I agree with her. If we're paying $2, $3, or whatever for a ride, treat us like we mean something.
Respect.
Even if we're not paying 0, if we're not paying 50 cents, because I also ride the regular buses. bus number 12 and bus number 31. We got some beautiful drivers. And I think it's for seniors, 75 cents. I usually do $1. And then if it's round trip, it's what, $1.50 or whatever have you. So, you know, treat me the way I'm gonna treat you. Don't cut me off when I'm talking.
Yes,
Just manage that out, I'll be happy.
thank you for these comments. One thing that we have done, and it was listed in the presentation, not only paratransit drivers or operators, but all staff. They are required to have customer service training at least once a year. We need to hear the feedback because sometimes you have to make adjustments even with employees. We have core values that we expect every employee from the top down to the lower level employees. And it's all about professionalism. It's about customer service, how we serve the public. We label, and we're public servants. And it is about serving the public, being courteous, being kind. And that's the purpose of these meetings, are to give you an opportunity to let this management team know what you are experiencing out there in the field so that it can be properly addressed. There has been money set aside for staff training and development, but we need to hear from you when these occurrences happen so that we can address them immediately. Ms. Tier and Ms. Shiggs, they're two of the nicest ladies you'll ever want to meet. So if you have problems with schedulers and the new director, Mr. Rubio, they've heard the lecture about the importance of customer service as we provide public service. That's what it's all about. And I want you all to hold us accountable. We want to hear what your concerns are. And I guarantee you, if you don't see a difference, I need to know about it. I need to know if you're being mistreated. I need to know if you're not getting the assistance that you need. That's what we're here for.
No, let me
We
ask you
are
a question.
public servants.
How do we proceed about that? Because I agree with the lady, what she said. I've known a lot of drivers by name, been riding with you guys for a long time. And basically, most of them are absolutely, they're wonderful, okay? But here and there, you have a person, for example, with the doors, when it's not electric, you are wrong. They will not come out and assist or will not be able to, not even assist, just being there. So you don't, I can go up the steps, okay? Not necessarily easily, but I do still go up the steps. But how do we proceed when there's a problem with that? I hate to call and say, hey, I just got a ride today and I'm there, sorry, but.
Well, don't hate to call.
Well,
Please call.
in some ways, because,
Yeah.
I do and I don't.
But we want to know, when they're doing the right thing and when they're doing the wrong thing, so we
Because
know.
some of them, and I know who they are because I get them again. Eventually.
But we need to know so we can address it and,
So who would I
correct the
talk to?
behavior.
Dini's not here today, right?
Well, I would say,
Yes. All right.
I would just add on to what my colleagues have already said. First of all, ma'am at the back, we apologize for that behavior from our drivers on behalf of CAT. We have put measures in place, as Ms. Ghana said, it's gonna be a mandatory training. So as this comes in, like I said in my opening, paratransit service is just not luxury, it's a lifeline. So everybody can be trained how to drive a vehicle, but the customer service is part of the job. People have to appreciate the service we give them. If we're wrong, we're wrong. Like you said, and that's part of the training. Yes, ma'am, yes, sir. I'm sorry. And just how you say it, number one, you're late, and now you have an attitude what do you feel the customer will appreciate that kind of service? So we are working very hard to make sure the service is quality. And that's part of the customer service training that is coming up. It's going to be mandatory. And if anybody feel like they can be here for that purpose, then we get the best fit. Because our goal is to make sure service is provided in a way that is designed for. So, like Ms. Carter said, this is the kind of meetings that we're gonna have quarterly. We want to hear from you guys. Because if you don't call in, we don't know. But we have, you're not the only one complaining about customer service, so we have put that on our agenda moving forward to make sure mandatory and all the drivers are trained. Again, we apologize.
I'm gonna try to be kind here. The drivers are lovely. That I think that most people who, you know, ride with Cat Mobility will agree, the drivers are lovely. It's the people that you call into, like you're 40 minutes late for a doctor's appointment, and then they get all brushed with you. And they do. I'm sorry, they just do. And I have been told on a few occasions that this is not a private taxi service. I get that. It isn't, okay? But it's a huge life thing I have to use, okay? If you're 2.5 hours, and I've had that happen to me on many occasions, where I've been stuck at Kroger's on Mall Boulevard or a doctor's appointment, and you're 2.5 hours late, or you don't show. And I can't tell you how many no-shows I've had. I just had one 2 weeks ago. Doctor's appointment, never showed up. And I have to take an Uber. But every doctor that I go to, my orthopedic, my primary care, my dermatologist, all know, and I have said this and repeatedly to them, I don't have anything to do on when I am picked up. So they know that, okay? So because I have been charged for no shows at a doctor's appointment, and I have worked and wormed my way around it. Two, I had to pay $75. And when I sent that to you, you never responded to me, ever. And I have also had, so my doctors know, those are my 3 main doctors, okay? And but when you call in, are you coming? Are you coming? Are you coming? And I have been treated very rudely by the receptionists, okay? Especially no-shows. And that sucks for us. Most of us, and I have pretty much deleted any leisure rides from Cat Mobility, but my doctor's appointments are very important. So you get to a doctor's office, you're half hour late, okay? Well, my appointment theoretically was 10 o'clock in the morning. You show up at 10:30. They know that. It's in my file, and it's in my file. So then I make an appointment for 10 o'clock, pick up at 11:30, because we all know doctors are late. Okay. So I get to a doctor's appointment at 10:30, again, theoretical for conversation points, and then you pick me up at 11 o'clock. Well, I haven't even seen the doctor yet. And yet, your receptionists are not all that nice. Well, Miss Crane, what do you want us to do? I don't know. Haven't seen my doctor. You were a half hour late. Now I'm in the pit of waiting to see a doctor because I have to, okay? And then when I call you back, okay, I'm ready, and say it's 12 o'clock, theoretically. Well, we don't have any rights for you right now. So what do? I can't tell you how much Uber money I've had to spend just to get home to my house. Because it's been an hour, 2 hours, no show. You picked me up late, and then you picked me up in an appointed time. I got a phone call, which I have on my phone, where you called me at 8:15 PM. Your ride's outside a doctor's office at 8:15. What the heck? I mean, that's the kind of, BS that we have to deal with, okay? And that's unacceptable. We are disabled people. If we could drive, I can't, I have seizures. We would drive, okay? And I am 75 years old, so a lot of my friends are in the same, health issues, okay? So this is a service we depend on. I no longer use your for leisure. Groceries, nothing. My sons gave me for Christmas $150 Uber card. That's how I get to a grocery store now. I couldn't depend on you to come pick me up. And that is the sad tale of using Cap Mobility. It just isn't fair to us. And I can't use a fixed route because I had just had brand new knee surgery. It's working. I think it's Smiley. And I have other health issues, which keeps me in the disability system. Okay. I don't know why. I have asked repeatedly. You have trackers on the fixed cat. Why can't we have that for Cap Mobility? Because I got to tell you, I have seen cat trucks sitting at Kroger or at someplace else, sitting there. And at 10:15, 3:00 in the afternoon. Well, what are they doing there? Okay. It's an issue. It really is an issue. Okay. And the anxiety of calling Cap Mobility is huge. Okay. And I have some brain damage. So when I call Cap Mobility, because I have to go to a doctor, my anxiety level is so high. Okay, it just is. And I have tried, because I used to be in marketing for 44 years for the NFL. I know how to do this, but we're never really on rides with other people. I got picked up. I had an 8:15 appointment. You picked me up at 7:00 in the morning. Well, that's a whole lot earlier than my medical appointment. She wanted to dump me outside in 95-degree heat and wait for the office to open. I can't do that. And so I had to ride to Pooler with her. And again, she was lovely, but I had to ride to Pooler and then come back from Pooler, get another appointment to drop me off because I can't sit in 90-degree or 100-degree heat.
So, again, I apologize. This is the reason for this meeting is because we want to hear from our customers, and that's the only way we can make it better.
But you don't answer me back. I have sent so many emails, okay? And I don't know who you are, Mr. Rubio. Are you the new executive director?
The director, yes.
Okay, you are an appointed, you're not a temporary guy.
Correct.
Well, welcome aboard and please make changes for us.
No, that's
Because
what we're working on.
it's fun to ride this service. It is absolutely horrendous.
No, I understand.
And when I sit outside in the step waiting for you guys with tears running down my and then I call, are you on your way? Are you on your way? What's the deal? And you get nothing but insolent dispatchers. Okay.
You shouldn't feel that way. You shouldn't have anxiety. You want to
For years,
No,
sir.
and I understand.
This is not recent.
No, and I appreciate you coming and letting us know what's going on, and that's definitely what we're working towards, making sure we're providing a good service.
Was on TV with WSAV about 5 years ago, okay, on air. She came to my house, okay, because SAV is literally about, 1,000 feet from my home. I live on Victory Drive, and she came and I was on air. And not one, and I sent that, and I was very sincere, didn't make up anything. I told him exactly what was going on. I sent the video. She contacted you, okay, to get a response as a rebuttal as a reporter. Zero response. Nothing. Not one darn thing.
So again, like we have made changes, we have new staff come on board. With the system, we have the new system. Just as of Monday, just Monday, we implemented that travel time that you just talked about for picking people early and having them ride 2 hours. It's now the maximum anybody can be on the bus 60 minutes. That's one.
Okay, can we get GPS trackers? You have it for Catmo, you have it for Cat. Why can't we have it so that we can see, you know, again, we're disabled people. I can't run downstairs. Okay, so, and I sit at my window in my dining room looking for you guys, okay, dressed, ready to go. Your 15-minute allotment. Why can't we have the same tracker that Cat Fixed has? Why can't we have that?
I've made a note of it and see if that's something we can implement.
Just let me know where my ride is, okay? Like Uber, okay? You do an Uber, be there in 7 minutes, and you can watch the car come to your house. Why can't we have that for Cat Mobility?
You know, that is a very good point. It's well noted.
It's a good
It's
point,
a good point.
but why can't we have it? Because I've asked this question 100 million times, a little exaggeration there, and no response. Why can't we have that and watch the Cat Mobility guy or person, girl, come to, or transgender, I don't care, come follow them. You have the equipment because they have GPS on their computers. Why can't we have that?
Yeah, we have a new system. We're gonna discuss that with you. It's a necessary tool to turn that on, so you guys can see, like, say, Uber.
Okay, and when is that going to go in effect?
We'll get back to you.
Here we go. We'll get back to you.
Ms. Baker,
Same thing.
Baker, the new software IT codes, isn't it wherein they make a call when they're within
Yes, they do.
so many minutes
Yes.
of picking up the passengers, and that's a part of the new software. So you should be seeing movement in that, notifying you when they are 5 minutes away or 10 minutes away. That's a part of the new system that was added in late 2025. It is now operable. So hopefully that's going to help address a lot of concerns. In addition to that, it's going to allow management to actually see what your schedule time is, when they get there. If they're running late, you should be getting a call to say, we're running late, we'll be there at such and such a time. Now, this has just gone into effect. So hopefully you will be seeing major improvements. It's about communication. And trust me, we understand. That's why there was investment in new software, so that we can better communicate to let you know when we're running in. So just give us an opportunity to receive all of your concerns. And the vendor that we have with the software, they have been very accommodating. As we hear from you, we can customize that system so that we can better communicate with you and better serve you. So work with us. And I can't say this enough. We need to know when you call the call center, or when you call and someone is rude, because that's just not acceptable. We need to know. And as professionals, we know how to address issues with employees. It could be just some more customer service training, that they clearly understand what the expectations are. Zero tolerance for disrespect. Just zero tolerance.
Okay, I have 2 points I'd like to say. First of all, I appreciate what you're saying about the new system, but as anything, it has kinks in it. And the reason why I say that is because I'm on the bus and it's calling me, telling me that my transportation is en route to my home.
Yeah.
That's the first thing.
Yeah.
And
I'm
it's
on the
happened-
bus, but it's telling me my
Okay.
bus is on
And
the
it's
way.
happened on multiple occasions. And my second part, this is part two, that I tell all the drivers, you're my knights in shining armor. So I'm not trying to put anyone down. I'd like to ask you though, when we go, because I use it also for shopping. I don't use it for major shopping, but I have to go out sometimes and retrieve a few things to the market. And I would like to know how many bags are we allowed to have on the bus? I got on one day and I had not 3, I had 4 bags. The young lady became hysterical. She said, I'm not gonna help you with those bags. I said, I didn't ask you to. I got on the bus and I take the 4 bags and I tie them, like the 2 of them together. You understand? So I can lift them up between. She's telling me on the bus, I don't have to take you. I don't know why she just wanted to carry on. And I'm not that type of person. I'm not confrontational. So I sat there and I'm listening to this young woman tell me, I can still put you off anytime I get ready. Now, I don't know if she thought I was going to reduce the tears, but I'm non-confrontational, but I'm no joke either. So I just sat there and I just listened to her. But what she did was that was really annoying. When she got to my home, she didn't put me off by my house. She put me off down the block.
And that's,
I am visually limited. I don't like to label what I have. How dare you? And not even help me off the bus. I called the center as soon as I got the house, and they know me because they know I'm always polite and I listen and I don't make a big deal. My brother said the next time things like that happen, put it in writing. Yes. Because the call is one thing, but if they have a written notification, it's another. So I'm just putting you on, I'm alerting you. Because I have a graduate degree and a postgraduate degree. If it happens again, I'm going to write a very long letter. Detailed. And then we're gonna see what you're gonna do about it. Do you understand? And I'm not trying to be rude, I'm just telling you.
and that's the type of stuff we need to know about right away. So I appreciate that, because that's the type of stuff we need to address, right? If it's a specific driver not following the proper procedure,
They know.
we need to know about it.
Well, sir, I can answer that question because my daughter is prolific in writing.
Hmm.
And I was threatened to be taken off for not calling 2 hours before non-pickup after the rudeness. My daughter and I received letters from CAT to appeal my taking off. My daughter wrote, and like I said, she wrote, we came over here one Saturday afternoon, brought the letter of appeal from CAT with her documentation, because she witnessed my calling 2 hours prior to not pick me up and to appeal them taking me off as a rider. I have yet to have gotten any letter from CAT.
See,
and
that's the
the
thing.
application.
You don't respond.
We stood outside here for about 15 minutes, ringing the doorbell. And the voice said, if you see a driver coming in to bring their bus and give the envelope, return envelope, which CAT provides with your appeal and all that other good stuff, and they will put it on the desk. That was almost 2 months ago. That was in October. This is now what? February.
You heard anything?
Haven't heard anything,
No.
but I did call Miss Brown and one other young lady, who I guess is troubleshooters for you all. They said, Miss Freddie, don't worry about it. Everything's fine. I said, but where's my response to the information? Did it was it put on the desk here? So if you write it, my daughter's an excellent writer. Master's degree, doctor, almost doctor, and everything else. Not that I brag about things like that, but like this lady was saying, you don't get a response because we yet got the response that you all got my appeal. Even though
I'll look in, I'm not aware of the situation, but I'll definitely.
we dropped it off and nobody answered the door out here, but they told us any driver that you see going into the gate to give it to the driver. He would then give it to he or she, but it was the male driver that took the information, would give it to security, and security would put it on whoever's desk that this needed to go to.
Yeah, I'm not aware of it, but I'll definitely get with you after the meeting. If I can get everybody's names, I want everybody's names so I can look into these issues. So I'll definitely get with you guys after the meeting so I can get all your names and make sure we can look into these and address these.
How many bags are we allowed to carry on the bus? Just so I'll know in the future.
Yeah, so the policy, it's 3 bags,
Three?
but it's essentially, I mean, what you can control and carry. So I mean, if they're, 3 Ziploc bags, well, who cares, right? So it's whatever you can control, right? So it's not a bunch of bags all over the floor and then we can't get other customers on board, right? So essentially whatever you're able to control, right?
Would it suit though, if we had like a large carrier, maybe we could put all the bags in a larger carrier so that we have better control? It
So,
might be a little heavier, but you think that will work better?
so they have, like little shopping carts, they're like little 2-wheel
I have
carts.
one of those.
And so, yeah, so you can pack that, bring it on board, just let us know when. Yep,
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what's the policy? Because I'm, a 10-year cat rider, okay? So mobility rider, and there was an incident where a yellow cab hit a rider, okay? And you used to have yellow cab as a partner to help the fill, okay? Because I understand there's more riders than there is buses, okay? I get that. But now, and I have had a few occasions, they don't help you, okay? There is no help from a capability driver, and they're lovely. I want to just preface it with that, but there is no help from a capability rider or driver to get things off the bus, nothing, or on the bus. So if you go to Kroger and you have 3 bags full of groceries, he will sit in the driver's seat while you very, try to get those bags on the bus. So what is the policy with that? Because I know that started with the yellow cab incident where a yellow cab driver hit a
Yes, the bags are bags that you should be. Operators are not to assist with bags. But the issue that comes into play is the operator not getting up out their seat.
nope.
That's the issue, because anything can happen to you, anybody outside the bus, and they don't even know. So they're just sitting there, they should be getting off the bus, but the bags should be the 3 bags that you can handle. You're responsible for your own bags. The young lady here asked about the little shopping cart, the little 2-wheel thing. If that's something that you might want to, use, that's something that you can use. And it's much easier than trying to carry those bags.
So the policy is, and I just want to make sure that I understand it. If a shopping cart or 3 bags of groceries or whatever, that is our responsibility to get on and off the bus. Okay, because we are disabled, okay? So if I buy paper towels, toilet paper, and Kleenex, I'm good. But, have a week's worth of groceries that aren't always lightweight,
Right.
tough. Correct?
Not tough, but it has to be something that you're able to.
Okay, so the operators are not required, okay, to help us on or off the bus with packages or anything else like that. And that goes back to that yellow cab incident, right? Do you know about that?
No.
Yeah, we'll check it out, because we used to have yellow cab, and they would be short-term rides, okay? I know yellow cab's been, obliterated with the onset of Uber. But we don't have that anymore because of that incident, so.
I would just suggest that if you go, I know about Publix because that's one of my main stores. If you ask the ones that's in there bagging up your grocery, could they put it just like they do in your vehicle?
Yeah,
They will help put it on the
That's
bus and
right.
all you gotta do is call the neighbor and say, yeah, I'll be there in 15 minutes. Could you come help me get these bags up? So we got to kind of do things for ourselves to help ourselves. We can't expect everybody to be able to help with things that we have to help for ourselves.
Something I Kroger, so I know if I go to a place.
If I may, we have a couple of minutes left and we do want to just highlight the eligibility portion. If Ms. Barbara Shiz can kind of run through that. And then we'll talk about the ride guide and the acknowledgement sheet that is on receipt.
Most people know I'm Barbara and I do the eligibility screen. I'm not sure if everybody realizes it, but we have to do eligibility recertification every 3 years. Everybody, unless there's a temporary situation, it's done every 3 years. So now what we're gonna do is send out your recertification at least 2 months ahead, 60 days. And then we'll give you at least 30 to bring it back, to send it back to me. If there's an issue where you can't fill it out or you need help, I don't have a problem setting up an appointment, I'll be glad to help. Done that several times. I don't have a problem with that. I just ask that if you get the paperwork, if there's an issue, and you say, well, I just can't, you could, because some people just can't see it, and it's fine. Just call me and I'll sit right there with you as long as I need to, and I'll get it taken care of. I've done it. But I want everybody to realize, I do try to get it out to you, and I've been doing it pretty good, 60 days ahead. So you have enough time to get it done. Yeah, again, like I said, if you have an issue and can't fill it out, please call. I'm usually at my desk from 6 in the morning to 2 o'clock. Sometimes later, it just depends. If you need me to be there to fill out anything you help me, not a problem. Just feel free to give me a call. Usually I get lots of calls and need help, and I don't have a problem helping. Even if you have to come in with me, and we'll sit and do it. It's not a problem. But that's the policy we're trying to get out. We're gonna get you at least 60 days. We're gonna send it out before you expire. In for instance, you expire, say, in a couple of months, say, next month, say what is it? The 2nd of maybe March. You'll have 30 days beyond that to fill it out. And again, if you have an issue with it, please give me a call. Not a problem. I just want to make sure everybody stays on the service so we don't have a lapse of service, especially when you need it.
You do me a favor, please, Ms. Barbara, write your contact information on the back of this with large bold marker.
Yes,
Because
ma'am.
I need to call you because you may have contacted me, but unfortunately, if I don't stick the information on my CCTV, I will not have it available, so please. And I'll call your office to find out if I'm scheduled for that. For the review. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. I'll take care of it for you. Anybody else have any questions? I'm sorry, we'll go walk away.
Lastly, everyone does have an updated ride guide in their seat along with an acknowledgement sheet. And Ms. Tia, can you explain more about the acknowledgement sheet and what is required of our riders with that?
The acknowledgement sheet.
Oh, sure.
Okay, the acknowledgement sheet for the ride guide, everybody should have a copy of the ride guide. The acknowledgement sheet is just to help us know that you all have the information that you need and that you understand it. So to just go through, once you go through your book and read it, if you don't have any questions, please let us know, because I know some things in the book is kind of hard to understand, and we're here to help you understand. So if you all just make sure that you complete the acknowledgement form that you received the book so that we can have that today. And again, you can always call our office if you all have any other questions about that book. Ms. Sheets is already up there talking about eligibility. And that's one of the parts of eligibility, is making sure that you all understand how our services work. And also what we're reliable for and what you're reliable for. We also included a grace period of 30 days. I think that's what she was trying to explain. After your expiration date, say for instance, your expiration date was today, 1/29/26. we're gonna give you a grace period of 30 days. This is not a leap year, so it'll be March the 1st, that your expiration date will actually be. That's just to give us time to get your information in and to process the application and give everything back to you. So we have any more questions?
I know I ask a lot of stuff, but I
All right,
also
great.
read a lot. Two things, the online reservation. Can you make that a little easier to find? Because that's not easy to find on the website. Okay, you gotta go. So could we just make that a little easier to find? I know how now to find it, but it's not that easy. And who's Barbara? Is she here? Hi, Barbara. Nice to meet you. It is not iOS friendly. And I think you and I talked about this. It's not. I was a web developer for 15 years. So not all of us are Microsoft users or Apple users. So that iOS needs to be friendlier, okay? Because it is, like cats and dogs and hot dogs and hamburgers. It is very, very different. And that iOS, it's not built into your online reservation, okay? But that online reservation, which sometimes is easier to use once you go through the steps, just make it simpler. Like when you go to Cat Mobility, Cat Chat and Cat, there's so many steps to try to get to that reservation form, and just make it easier for us, please.
Just want to say, I don't know if y'all ever considered this, having some ones that's like us to volunteer, answering the phones after hours or whatever, because we know how we feel and we know how they feel, and that may help with that barrier also.
Absolutely.
You're welcome.
Could there be a social media site? Again, I worked in web development for the NFL, so it for years and years and years. Can there be a site just for us to think? I had a lovely ride with my driver, Patricia, today, or Bryce. Okay, because we don't really have any, continuity or any place to put that. Because we don't get responses back when we do. Okay. I mean,
Reviews.
yeah, a private site. We all know how to do it, whether it's Reddit or, through TikTok. But anyway, even a Facebook page where it's private members only, where we can put down our issues and then have somebody look at it. Because that to me is an immediate. Yeah, I mean, you want me to set it up? I know how to do it. But we need to have some place to go and thank and moan, and we have nothing. Zero. Private site. Shut up now. Marketing stuff.
Okay, so, yeah, so when you call in, it's supposed to direct you to the dispatch.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
They just say it's closed.
Really?
It
Okay.
doesn't open up
See, we didn't
Like
even,
8 o'clock.
right, we didn't even know that.
on weekend.
Okay, and that's when you dial the main number, the 233.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll look into that. I know that if Dr. Manning or Ms. Cutter, you all can explain about the new phone system that.
Yeah, so we have a new system that is coming up, whereby I call it the airline system. Right? If you call in for virtual, it will send you to somebody, an advocate that is only expert in virtual. And also it will give you options for one, to Paratransit, two, to fix route, customer service loss and found. That is all coming up. So you make it much more easier. For instead of one call, after hours, the call gets to fix route. And if nobody answers, that means you don't have the answers you're looking for. All that is changed and it's coming up soon.
So that's learned that we're working on that piece. But I didn't know it was telling you that they were closed.
Yeah, like weekend at 8 o'clock, or something like that. And then some, like one get sick, and then the driver shows up, and that's 7 o'clock in the morning. And you have to tell them, so you're not covered. And it's like a cost of us.
Okay. I'll get your name and your phone number before we leave.
So we do thank all of you for joining us on today. We do also have a session at 6 p.m. tonight as well, and then on Facebook Live tomorrow from 1 to 2:15 p.m. Our team will still be available. If there are some extra questions, you guys are more than welcome to get a snack as well. As I know, a lot of you have used cat mobility while we get your lives outside. So thank you all.
Thank you.
Yes,
We
ma'am.
have to pay today or no?
No, it's free. It's free today.
Oh, okay.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you.